All right, we are back. We have another amazing corporate partner joining us. Sorry about that. Somebody was knocking at the door, but I'm super excited. How are you?
I'm doing well, Dr. Rowe. How are you today?
Good, good. Sorry about the technological
No, it's okay.
issues.
It's
It was
me.
in spam, but we're sending it. I'm like, I sent it. I know I sent it, but I'm glad we got it and we're here. So let's go to rock and roll. Um, this week we have had all of our amazing corporate partners joining us, and it's definitely been a blast chopping it up with everybody. Today we have, I don't want to mess your name up.
Yvonne.
Stevon. I always want to say it wrong, but I know in my head it's Stevon. Okay, Stevon Edwards joining us today, and she's been a corporate partner for 2 years now, right?
Weird.
Two
Yes.
years. So she's joining us again for another amazing year. Go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about yourself personally, and then let's jump into the business aspect.
Absolutely. So I am Stevon Edwards, and I am so happy to be able to talk and share with you all today about the services that I provide. But I've actually been doing nonprofit capacity building work for, oh my goodness, 15, maybe 20 years. Started in college with being a connector, right? Connecting nonprofits, especially to the business sector, in order to bridge some innovative partnerships there. But then it evolved into grant writing, and now it has evolved into strategic planning, organizational health development, leadership development, and work that I do in partnership with other leaders across the community. And so it's really evolved into a plethora of ways that I'm able to support your nonprofit as it grows, or even mature nonprofits who need to sustain.
Absolutely, that's so awesome. And did you put your contact information in the chat? Um,
No, I did not put my contact information in the chat, but I can. You can reach
okay.
me through the website, which is just Chenault.solutions, HTTP. There's no www. It's just Chenault.solutions. And that way you can book a 20-minute conversation with me and see all of the services that I provide.
Absolutely. So Auntie Jim was with us yesterday and she told us she's not hard to find. So listen, I'm like, everybody put their contact information so everybody can find everybody and we can connect, because she was talking about the importance of collaboration and just being able to network with each other, and the amazing people that she's met inside of the platform that has taken her business to the next level, and then just being able to meet amazing people year after year, connecting with them. So the connectivity is so important. So make sure that you guys are reaching out and connecting with other people because it works. All right. So we want you to give us some golden nuggets. Now, the golden nuggets that has been dropped this week has been phenomenal. Steve just gave us a couple of good ones before he got off, as far as being able to send those
Yeah.
thank you notes, which are so important, especially if somebody's giving you money or in-kind donations towards your nonprofit. A follow-up, it doesn't take much of our time to do so, but sometimes we forget. And he just said that it's so important. Out of the 100 donations that he gave out, only 27 people,
Yeah.
or was 28 people, replied back, and 71 did not. So it just really makes a big
Mhm.
impact on the people that are supporting you to just say a simple thank you. So do you have any golden nuggets that you want to give out on today?
Well, like I said, as far as nonprofit capacity building, there's a plethora of areas, right, that you can build your capacity in, and they are called organizational functions. And all of those organizational functions are determined by your strategy, your strategic plan. What do you plan to do for the next 3 to 5 years? What is your mission? What is your vision? And your basis for grant writing, your basis for fundraising, your basis for engagement of any volunteers or any supporters of your organization is your strategic plan. People need to see your North Star. Where are you going? Do you have plans to purchase property in the future? What am I giving toward? Am I giving toward the one time programs that you do every year? Or am I giving toward a more longer term strategy for how you plan to transform your community? And so I really think that strategic planning is a major foundational activity and practice that I think every organization needs to implement, every 3 years, reviewing that every single year with your board, with
Mhm.
your community, with your partners, with your team, so that everyone is on the same page about where your organization is going and how long you want your organization to be a pillar within the community that you serve.
Absolutely. We love that one. Did you have another one that you want to give?
So I think that's the biggest one because it
Okay.
provides clarity, right?
Absolutely.
Often, when working with organizations that are going for a major grant or working with organizations that are planning a capital campaign or a fundraising campaign, the first thing I ask is, what is your goal? You
Okay.
have to know your goal for each of those activities. Those are the two biggest ones because we all want money, right?
Right.
However, if a donor doesn't know what they're giving to, if
Mhm.
they're just giving because they saw that you had a great Instagram post, that giving is not going to sustain. It's
Mhm.
not going to keep them in relationship with you. They need to see what is your vision for the world that you are working toward each and every day. And I think that is a really great reason of why strategic planning not only works for an organization, but also it's part of being Better Business Bureau certified, right? And that's a
Absolutely.
major certification that nonprofits are going toward now because more of your larger foundations are looking for that. Do you have your finances in order? Do you know where you're going in the future? Does your board meet? Right. And
Mhm.
so strategic planning is an opportunity to get all of those ducks in a row.
Oh, awesome. Now, what was the certification that you were mentioning? Because I don't think a lot of people are familiar with it. Can you go a little bit more in detail with
I
that?
absolutely can, Dr. Rose. So, the Better Business Bureau has a nonprofit certification program. And so, you are certified in 10 different areas of your organization. They ask how often your board meets and they ask for your board notes, right? They ask for your financials. Do you keep good financial records? Are you good at fiscal management and stewardship? Not that do you use QuickBooks? You know,
Mhm.
QuickBooks is great, right? If you have a bookkeeping service that you use, but do you have a process, period? Because often we get so wrapped up in what we're doing, keeping track of those finances only comes to our mind if we're above that need for a 990 just
Mhm.
postcard, right? If we're making
Right.
over $20,000. But good fiscal stewardship is a part of being Better Business Bureau certified. In addition to that, they ask if you have a strategic plan. They also ask how you're spending your money. Are
Mm.
you spending more than 30% on human resources? Because they really recommend that 70% go toward your programming costs.
Wow.
Okay. Are you providing an audit? Even if you don't need one, do you have a full 990 that you are filling out? Even if you only have $10,000, it's a really great practice to actually fill out the full 990 form so there's
Mhm.
transparency in how you are doing your work. And so it's a really great program to go to. It's free. So Better Business Bureau does it for free. So if
Okay.
you go on the Better Business Bureau website, you can sign up to get contacted by one of their representatives, and they will guide you through that process. And then afterwards, you get a seal of approval that you can share with funders, you can share with donors, you can post it on your website. But it's a really great sort of providing peace of mind to
Mhm.
everyone that you work with that their donations are going toward the right programs, the right reason, the right operations, right?
Mhm.
But also that you are an organization that has that North Star in mind.
Absolutely. And the certification, do you know how long it is, or does it just kind of depend on the organization, how much stuff they have together or not?
It definitely depends on the organization. So it's the same
Okay.
thing with strategic planning because the similar records that the Better Business Bureau asks for, I also ask for in the strategic planning process because it gives a really great snapshot to your organization. And so that could take anything from 3 weeks if you already have that information available, or it
Mhm.
could take longer as they work with you on the best processes that you need to implement for your organization.
Awesome. And with the strategic planning that you offer, do they need to set a consultation with you or send you an email to get signed up for it? Is it a cost associated with it? How do they get the strategic session with you?
Absolutely. So the initial consult is free because I want to get to know your organization and what is your mission and vision. How
Okay.
have you progressed over the last few years, and what do you see for the future? And so, like I said, you can go to Chenault.solutions and schedule that with me. The calendar's wide open, and you can pick whatever day you would like to speak with me. But after that, we get into what is it that you need from this strategic planning process, because the needs are different, right? Some organizations may be focused on people development at the time. Some may
Mhm.
be focused on fundraising, more so fundraising, and some may be focused on operations. So we're able to have all of those conversations about what is the pressing issue, what is the priority right now, and then how does working with that priority fit into your future plan. And so there is a cost associated with it, because I stay with you for at least 6 months to a year, right? We're
Wow.
working together through all these pieces, because my process for strategic planning is really focused on community engagement. So I
Okay.
want to talk to everybody that knows you and loves you, right? I want to talk to your volunteers, your donors. I want to talk to the partners you have within the community. I want to talk to your team if you have staff, all of the folks that you have contact with, because they are your stakeholders, and they're the ones that are really uplifting you and making sure that you can last from year to year, through decades, through community transitions, and all of those pieces. And so that process, I allow for that research and development process, so we can really and truly get some good data on
Okay.
your organization. And then we go into a retreat. So in the
Mhm.
retreat, we look at all the data. We then have time to brainstorm, well, what do we want for the next 3 to 5 years? What does that really look like? And then after the retreat, there's implementation support, because there still may be some things we need to iron out, some goals we need to set, but also I want to be there to support your organization in executing the strategic plan, because often strategic plans are written and then they're put on the shelf.
Right.
So rather than just sitting on the shelf, I want you all to actually have your meetings guided by these goals that you have set. Have your work plans guided by the goals that you set. So everyone has that same North Star. And so the charge for that can be, it varies, right? But I'm able to work with you in that way, especially if you're doing my one on one time. However, I also offer a virtual strategic planning platform that's a fraction of the cost of working with me one on one, that actually trains you in strategic planning. Right. So now you and your team will be equipped with the skills, the tools, the resources that you need in order to complete a strategic plan. And it does take time investment, right? If you don't, money is time and time is money. And so
Okay.
the work that I would be doing is the work that you would eventually be doing. However, you're also learning skills that you can take into each and everyday operations, and
Mhm.
making sure that that North Star is how you operate as an organization, so that you can reach the fundraising goals, the growth goals, the operations goals that you have in mind over that period of time.
Absolutely. That is awesome. And again, she will put all of that information in the chat, as far as how do you book sessions with her, the strategic plan. Somebody's already put the Better Business Bureau certification for
Wonderful.
nonprofits in there. And I highly encourage you guys to take a look at that and to see if you guys can be a part of that program. And Stefan said it is free. So we love free, but we also have to support people and make that investment in not only yourself, but your nonprofit. So don't get discouraged when something has a cost to it, because that cost is associated with the person's time that they have to take to render the services to you, and their valuable hard work and education and all the things that goes behind their background to get them to the level of expertise that they're at. So please make sure that you guys are checking out all of our corporate partners. We're here back again in a couple of hours with two more of our amazing corporate partners. But can you go ahead and if you have any last things that you want to let them know, or any workshops, any other classes that you haven't mentioned, you can go ahead and let them know, and then where they can find you on social media.
Absolutely. So you can find me on social media, Chenault Solutions, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. I am trying to grow my TikTok so that I can make
Okay.
some more tip videos for you all. But I'm growing in that way. And then, just those tips is just to really and truly become a better leader yourself, right? Self-improvement is a major piece in running an organization. Okay. Leadership development is a huge piece in running an organization. So how you run your home is how you run your organization.
Ooh.
It is, yes. And that's
Okay.
that's in reference to budgeting. That's
Yep.
in reference to operations and people management. That's in
Okay.
reference to the to-do list that you have to do. So
Okay.
how we show up, right? The way that we are
Mhm.
wherever we are. So
Right.
how you show up for your nonprofit is how you're showing up in other areas of your life. Okay? So
Okay.
develop yourself, and that's a lot of the work that I do with clients in partnership with certified leadership development consultants and coaches,
Hmm.
because it's so important to how we accomplish these goals and how we impact others. Because we often know that in the nonprofit and social service sector, we are in this work because we have a heart for it. And some people have experienced the same trauma that we're trying to prevent for someone else.
That's
So
good.
we need to be healed as individuals, and we need to have our leadership skills developed consistently in
Hmm.
order to properly run and grow the nonprofits that we started and that we have taken a leadership role within, so that we have the deepest impact possible.
Absolutely. Listen, you didn't tell me just gonna drop the mic on the last one. Now you came through with that, and I hope you guys received that because that was nothing but gems right there, and the 100% truth. We have to continue to grow ourselves as leaders and continue to develop from the inside out. And what you put on the inside, it comes out on the outside eventually. You cannot fake the funk, and if you do, it eventually comes out. So we have to continue to develop and get our personal lives in order as you're running your nonprofit, because those two sometimes intertwine. And if you are jacked up at home, then eventually it's going to overflow over to your nonprofit side as far as budgeting and all of those things that you mentioned. So I definitely can 100% co-sign on that. So again, Blacks and Nonprofits family, it's been a pleasure joining you on today. We have reached our time out mark. So we can get ready for our next two this afternoon. But we definitely want to thank Steve and Stevon. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Woo! Got it. For joining us on today with Chenault Solutions and Auxilia. We definitely appreciate you guys. And you'll be seeing some of her corporate partner tips in the group in the upcoming week. So make sure you guys like and support. And again, great session on today. And we will see you guys back in a couple of hours with two more of our amazing corporate partners this week. Have a great rest of your morning.